Hello. I'm going to talk to you today about narrative, which we can think of as the rhetorical technique of telling a story in an essay. We can often help our readers by using narrative to provide examples of how our ideas apply. We can take our abstract concepts and give our readers a way to connect them to the experience that our readers live. We can do this even more effectively by telling our stories in ways that our readers can digest most easily, by using narrative in a way that follows a particular pattern that our readers can easily recognize and not have to consciously worry about. In this lecture, I want to talk about how I see narrative and how it works in an essay. Mainly, I see narrative as needing two basic elements. It must have events, and it must have a meaning. Now, we can think of events as the things that happen in a story. For example, I might tell you a story about how I got up in the morning and brushed my teeth and ate breakfast and was suddenly surprised by a dragon entering my living room. And those things that happen, the getting up, the brushing my teeth, the breakfast, the dragon, those are all things that happened in the story. We create narratives by describing these events, usually in chronological order, from earliest to most recent. We start by describing what happened first in the story and move along in time until we get to what happened closest to when we are telling the story. This often works best because we experience life in this way, so our readers find this order the easiest to understand. Now, these events all add up to the story's meaning, or what the reader learns from the story. We use stories in essays to help us make our point, and so those stories have to tell our reader something. The meaning of the story is what that story tells our reader. And because of the importance of this meaning, a narrative usually works best when the meaning introduces the story. Starting the story with its meaning helps our readers understand the events in the right way, and it also helps readers see how the story adds to its essay's main idea. We want our reader to understand how the story relates to what we want our reader to be thinking, and making sure that our meaning is understood should have that effect. So we want to introduce our stories with meanings to get our reader's mind in the right place. Thus, by combining events and meanings in a clear and direct way, following a pattern that our reader can easily comprehend, we can use narrative to bring ideas most efficiently into our readers' minds and help them most effectively understand what we're trying to say. I hope that this lecture will help you most effectively add the technique of narrative to your work. Think of it as a way to make your ideas more real for your reader by making those ideas more like actual experience. The more that your reader can identify with what you have to say, the more easily your reader can understand and agree with what you want to say. As always, thank you for your time and attention.